Every day begins with a need to move with purpose, to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay. For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Supercash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. Supergo, one app for services endless. Download Supergo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
No time to shop, no stress. With Supergo, your groceries comes to you. We partner with trusted vendors, verified stores, no delay, no excuses, just values. Supergo Supermarket, your market now in your hands. With Supergo, your ride is comfortable, easy, and convenient. Supergo is more than an app. It's a movement. Moving people, powering threats, delivering value.
Good afternoon and welcome to World News on SUMTV. I am Herbert Naftali Bandawa. We bring to you updates from across the world. You can watch on SUMTV on Facebook at SUMTV and on YouTube at SUMTV Live. Now the news headlines. Economic confrontation between nations has replaced armed conflict as top global risks according to the World Economic Forums. The annual risk perception surveys and the survey of over 1,300 experts worldwide, citing tariffs, checks, and foreign investment, tighter security, and critical minerals as example of economic confrontation. This shift in risk perception reflects growing tension between countries, particularly the US and China. Amidst the backdrop of increased patriotism and trade wars, environmental risks such as extreme weather and pollution have slipped down the rankings, with concern over artificial intelligence governance rising. Anxiety about AI's adverse outcome ranked 30th in the 2 years horizon, but jumped to 5th place in the 10 years horizon, highlighting fears about job replacement, societal disruptions, and security implications. According to WEF, the managing director, Sadia Zahidi, emphasized the need to corporations to address these risks, stating that none of these risks are foregone conclusion. The survey's finding come as a WEF prepares for its annual meeting in Davos, where global leaders will gather to discuss present issues. The reports highlight the importance of collaborations and dialogue to mitigate risk and resilience. A train derailed in northeastern Thailand after a construction crane fell on two of its carriage, killing at least 31 people and injuring 64. The incident occurred in Sekia district in Nakhon Ratchasima province on the train from Bangkok to Obon in Rajasthani. The crane was working on a high-speed rails project while it collapsed, causing the train to derail and briefly catch fire. The Minister of Transport, Rafit Ratchadakipran, ordered a thorough investigations, and Italian Thai Development Public Company Limited pledged compensations and reliefs to the families of victims. The Thai Prime Minister, Anuti Chavirakul, is due to visit the scene, and Chinese authorities are investigating the incidents as part of the joint project. The high-speed rails project connects Bangkok to China's Kinmen, passing through Laos. ITD and the construction company has a history of accidents, including the 2025 building collapse in Bangkok that killed over 89 people. The Thailand is making a bold move to revive its terrorism industry by considering the constructions of Southeastern Asia's first Disneyland in the Eastern Economic Corridors, a flagship economic zone east of Bangkok. The Deputy Prime Minister and Transport Minister, Rafat Khan has proposed Disneyland as the magnet project to transform the region into the year-round tourism hubs while attracting millions of visitors and boosting the local economy. The proposed theme park will be Asia's fifth Disney resort, joining Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai, and will be a major draw to tourists, supporting the development of a high-speed rail project linking Dormuzan and Savabani and the U-turn Tapo Airport. The government is exploring negotiations and Disney, either through direct investment or licensing agreements. The Thai investors have already expressed interest in co-investing. The project is seen as a way to restore confidence in Thailand's tourism industry, which has faced challenge in recent years, including security scares, natural disasters, and regional tension, with the country targeting almost 37 million tourist arrivals in 2026. The officials believe macro attractions will honor this land and could be the key success in thereof. And Iran has warned the neighboring countries hosting U.S. troops that will retaliate against the American base if Washington intervenes in the protests in Iran. The senior Iranian officials told Reuters the warning comes after U.S. President Donald Trump threatened to intervene in support of protesters, saying a very strong action could be taken if Iran executes protesters. This diplomat said some personnel have been advised to leave the main U.S. air base in the region, the AI Udent Air Base in Qatar. The U.S. has forces across the region, including forward headquarters of its central command at AI Udent and the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in Bahrain. Iran has asked the U.S. allies in the region to prevent Washington from attacking Iran, with the officials saying that Tehran had told regional countries that U.S. base could be attacked if the U.S. targets Iran. The situation remains tense, with reports of protests and violence continuing in Iran. A right group said 2,600 people have been killed in the crackdown, while Iranian authorities have accused the U.S. and Israel of fomenting unrest. The U.S. State Department has urged American citizens to leave Iran immediately. In Singapore, the Singapore Parliament is set to debate the removal of leader of the opposition, Pritam Singh, following the convictions of lying to Parliament. Singh, 49, was found guilty of giving false testimony of a parliamentary committee in 2021 about a fellow party member, Rasan Khan, who also admitted lying to Parliament. The leader of the House, Indrani Raja, told the motion declaring Singh's conduct of dishonorable and unbecoming, marking him unsuitable to continue as leaders of the opposition. Singh appeals failed in December and it was fined $7,000 for each charges, sparing him the loss of his seats and a ban from the 2025 general election. The Workers' Parties, led by Singh, won 10 seats in the 2020 general elections and retained their seats in the year 2025 elections. Despite the ruling People's Action Party, PAP, winning 87 of 89 seats, the debate comes amid concern about integrity and accountability in Singapore's politics. Indrani emphasized that lying under oaths is a serious matter, and Singapore cannot accept standard where leaders escape consequences of such actions. The outcome of the debate may impact Singh's future as a leader of the opposition and potentially affect the Workers' Party's standing. In Cambodia, Cambodian arrest of alleged scam center kingpin Chin Zing and his extraditions to China marks a significant step in the Southeastern Asian nation's battle against trans-border crimes. Chen, Chinese-born billionaire in his late 30s, heads the Prince Group conglomerate, which is being accused of running one of the largest investment fraud operations in history by U.S. authorities. The extradition follows a joint investigation by China and Cambodia, with details of the probe not publicly disclosed. The Cambodian Foreign Minister, Prak Sokhonn, emphasized that this is not the end of the country's effort to combat transnational crimes, particularly those involving new technologies like online scam organization. Chin's Prince Group has faced sanctions from several countries, including the US, UK, and South Korea, with assets linked to the groups frozen in Hong Kong, Singapore, in Taiwan. U.S. prosecutor has seized about $15 billion in bitcoins linked to Chen last year. Chen is accused of leading a major transnational gambling and fraud crime syndicate with operations in countries like Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos, involving tens of thousands of workers, including human trafficking victims. Chinese has set up a special task force to investigate prince groups, and it's unclear of what charges Chen will face in China. The move highlights Cambodia's commitment to eradicating trans-border crime with cooperations from countries like the US, China, and South Korea. The Cambodian says that Thai troops are still occupying civilian areas, protesting the December truce between the two countries. Of up to 4,000 Cambodian families can return home due to Thai insurgents. The Cambodian Foreign Minister Prak Sokhonn told Reuters the Thailand military denies the allegations, calling them baseless and despot stems from the century-old border conflict, with recent clashes in July and December 2025, killing over 100 people and displacing hundreds of thousands. The December truce aimed to halt fighting, freeze troops movements, and cooperate on diminution efforts. Cambodia has requested a joint boundary commission meeting to demonstrate and skate borders, but Thailand hasn't confirmed participations. The U.S. has offered $45 million in aid to support the truce, including $20 million for border stabilizations and $10 million for diminutions. Benin is offering a citizenship to people of African descent through its My Afro Origins programs, aiming to reconnect with the diaspora and highlight its history. The program has already granted citizens to around 50 people, including American R&B star Ciara, who perform at the Voodoo festivals in Arda. To qualify, applicant must be 18 above. We now take a short break from our sponsors.
Every day begins with a need to move with purpose, to shop without stress, to send without fear, to pay without delay. For every rider chasing time, for every home that needs restocking, for every voice that needs connection, for every dream that needs delivery. Now, one app brings it all together.
Supercab, move smart, ride safe, supermarket, groceries, gadgets, everything. Super cash, airtime, bills, transfers, done. Super logistics, fast, secure, right to your door.
It's more than an app. It's your movement, your market, your money, your connection, all in one place. SuperGo, one app for services endless. Download SuperGo today. Live free, live fast, live smart.
No time to shop, no stress. With SuperGo, your groceries comes to you. We partner with trusted vendors, verified stores, no delay, no excuses, just values. SuperGo Supermarket, your market now in your hands. With SuperGo, your ride is comfortable, easy, and convenient. SuperGo is more than an app. It's a movement, moving people, powering threats, delivering value.
Welcome back. The filmmaker Lee and his wife Tonya Lee Lewis were named ambassadors for the foreign programs, helping to promote Benin's cultural heritage and history. The country is also unveiling its project like the Door of No Returns and a replica of an 18th century slave ship to showcase its roles in the transatlantic slave trade. Benin's initiative is similar to Ghana's, which has granted citizenships to 684 Africans and diaspora members since 2016. The move is part of the broader approach to for repatriations and a right of return for descendants of enslaved people endorsed by CARICOMs. The Tunisian journalist Kata Belhaj Mubarak has been freed from prison after an appeal court reduced her sentence from 5 years to 2. She was convicted in the Instalingo case, which involved politicians, media figures, and others accused of conspiracy and financial crime, but denied the charges. Her brother Amin Berhaj Mubarak confirmed her release, saying her health had severely deteriorated in prison, with complications including significant hearing loss and a cancer diagnosis. The case is part of the broader crackdown on journalists and opposition leaders in Tunisia, with several receiving lengthy prison terms. The Tunisian authority claims the prosecutions are legitimate, while opposition groups argue they are politically motivated. Belhaj Mubarak's release has been welcomed by press freedom advocates, highlighting concern over Tunisia's judicial process and treatment of journalists. In Uganda, Uganda has taken the helms of the UN Women Executive Board for 2026, with Ambassador Donia Ayibari leading the charge. This marks a significant milestone for Uganda, recognizing its efforts in promoting gender equality and empowering women and girls. The country succeeds Sweden, which held the presidency in 2025. However, Uganda's new role has also raised concern among critics, civil society's voices, highlighting persistent challenge facing women in the country, including legitimate legal protections in cases of marital rapes, widespread sexual harassment, and high levels of gender-based violence. These issues underscores the contrast between Uganda's domestic challenges and its leadership position within the UN nation. As president of the executive board, the Ugandan is expected to play a central role in steering global discussions on gender equality, placing its policies and commitment under renewed international attention. The country's leadership will likely focus on advancing women's economic empowerment, addressing climate change, impact on women, and promoting women's leadership and participation in decision-making processes. In Somalia, Somalia has severed ties with the United Arab Emirates, citing violations of its sovereignty and national unity. President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud announced the decisions, stating that the United Arab Emirates had been using military bases in Bosaso and Berbera to support operations in Sudan's conflict, and backing Israel's recognitions of Somaliland. The move follows a series of diplomatic tensions, including the United Arab Emirates' alleged roles in Israel's recognitions of Somaliland, which Somalia view it as a threat to its territorial integrity. The United Arab Emirates investment in Somaliland, including a $442 million project to develop the port of Berbera, has contributed to the tensions. Somalia's decision has been supported by some regional governments, while partners like Somaliland, Puntland, and Jubaland has rejected Mogadishu's move, citing the existing agreement with the United Arab Emirates. The diplomatic rift reflects broader regional rivalries, with Somalia aligning itself with Saudi Arabia amid tensions between Riyadh and Abu Dhabi. The complex situations highlight its complex dynamics in the horns of Africa, where global powers are envying for influence. The United States President Donald Trump announced plans to revoke citizenship of naturalized immigrants convicted by fraud, especially targeting the Somali community. Trump stated that we are also going to revoke the citizenship of any naturalized immigrant from Somalia or anywhere else who are convicted of defrauding our citizens. During the speech at the Detroit Economic Club, this move has sparked concern among immigration advocates and legal experts, who argued it could be used as a political tool. The Trump administration has been cracking down on immigrations, and its latest move is seen as part of that effort. The U.S. government has already ended humanitarian protections for some Somalis, and Trump has made controversial statements about Somalis immigrants, calling them garbage and claiming they are destroying Minnesota. The plan to revoke citizenship has raised questions about its constitutionality and a potential impact on naturalized citizens. Experts warn that denaturalization could be used broadly, targeting individuals for minor infractions or political expressions. and the government would have to prove fraud or material discrepancies in the naturalization processes. And in Uganda, Uganda's government has ordered a temporary shutdown of public internet access effective January 13, 2026 at 6 p.m., just 2 days before the country's general elections. The Ugandan Communications Commission, UCC, directed mobile network operators and internet service providers to suspend services, citing concern over misinformation, electoral frauds, and incitement of violence. This decision reversed earlier assurance that no restrictions were planned. The shutdown affects public internet access, sales, and restrictions of new SIM cards and unbound data roaming services to countries within one network area. Essential services like healthcare, banking, government system will remain operational, but social media platform, web browsing, and messaging apps will be blocked. The UCC warned that non-compliances would attract several sanctions, including fines and possible license suspensions. The move has sparked concern over freedom of expressions and access to information, with opposition leaders claiming the government is trying to suppress dissent. The election is expected to be contentious, with President Yoweri Museveni seeking 7 times amid allegations of human rights abuses and electoral irregularities. Pope Leo XVI is set to visit Angola as part of a broader African tour, marking his first overseas trips in 2026. The Vatican's ambassador to Angola, Archbishop Crispin Dubal, announced the visit, stating that Pope Leo accepted an invitation from President João Lourenço, with dates and details still pending. His visit underscores Pope Leo's commitments to strengthening ties with the African, a continent he has visited extensively as a cardinal. Algeria, the birthplace of St. Augustine of Hippo, is also on his agenda. Pope Leo, the first U.S. Pope, has expressed his desire to visit Africa, following in the footsteps of his predecessors, including Pope Francis' 2013-2023 visits to the Democratic Republic of Congo and South Sudan. The upcoming trip is expected to reinforce the Catholic Church presence in Angola, which has a significant Catholic population. Pope Leo's visit will likely focus on promoting peace, social cohesion, and dialogue, building on his previous engagement with African nations. And again, in Somalia, the central government has revived ties with the United Arab Emirates, annulling all agreements, including security, and citing undermining national sovereignty. The allegations that the United Arab Emirates helped separatist leaders escape from Yemen via Somalia. The United Arab Emirates has been linked to Israel's recognition of Somaliland, a breakaway region in northern Somalia. As an independent state, the 3 self-governing regions in Somalia, Somaliland and Puntland, and Jubaland have rejected Mogadishu's decision, stating they will maintain relationship with the United Arab Emirates. The Somaliland Ministers of Presidency, Kadar Hussein Abdi, said, United Arab Emirates is here to stay, no matter what the breakdown. The weak administrations in Mogadishu says. The United Arab Emirates has significant investment in Somalia, particularly in ports and military infrastructure, and has trained and funded Somalia's army. The region has expressed confidence that existing agreement will remain in place, with Portland's government stating the decisions will have no impact on their relationship with the United Arab Emirates. And Russia has condemned the U.S. threat of military strike against Iran, calling them categorically unacceptable. The warning against external interference in Iranians' internal politics. The Russian foreign minister stated that those planning to use unrest as a pretext of aggressions against Iran will be aware of the disastrous consequences for the Middle East and global security. The statement comes amid spreading unrest in Iran, with protesters gatherings in Tehran and vehicles burning. The U.S. has been accused of inspiring unrest, which Iran's rulers are trying to suppress. The Russia's condemnations highlight the tensions between the U.S. and Iran and the potential risks of escalating conflict in the region. The international community is watching closely the situation, with implications for global security and stability. Russian captain Vladimir Motin, 59, is on a trial at London's Old Bailey Court for gross negligence and manslaughter after his container ship Solon collided with a U.S. tanker, Stena Immaculate, off Britain's east coast on March 10, 2025, killing crew members of Park-Penia 38. Prosecutors Tom Little stated that Motin did absolutely nothing to prevent the avoidable collision, despite being on the collision course for over half an hour. The Solon was carrying alcohol and dangerous goods, including sodium cyanide containers, while the Stena Immaculate had over 220,000 barrels of aviation fuels. The crash caused a fire that spread to both vessels. Motin allegedly sent a WhatsApp message to his wife saying there had been a disaster and will be guilty. The trial continues, with Motin pleading not guilty of the charge. The court held that the case will be treated with due cautiousness of the international community. This brings us to the end of the world news for today. On behalf of SUMTV, I am Herbert Naftali Bandawa. Wish you a good afternoon.